Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Shalom, Israel. It's the ISUPK, started 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. This is the closing of the Feast of Purim. Give the Lord a hand. And we're going to jump right back into it. We got started Esther chapter 5 and verse 1. Before we get there, does anybody got any questions? Everybody 12. If it come back to you, let me know. If you're online, you got a question, put it in the chat and I'll answer it. Until other than that, Kabashwan, you got it. Esther 5 and 1.
Come from over.
Good.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 5, verse 1. Now it came to pass on the third day that Esther put on her royal apparel. Like, sure. Yeah.
If the brother get there.
You have a question, totally separate.
All right, no sweat.
Totally separate.
Salaki, Kabashwan, if you could give me one of them codes real quick. Go ahead and answer your question.
Okay, so
They in the little blue drawer in the middle right there.
what do we say to it? This is a lot more often nowadays. The brothers will be like the Judah brothers. They would be like, we didn't come on ships. We was already here.
I met a brother like that. I used to work with a nigga at Lasco. He was like that. He said, "You telling me they brought 12 million of us over here on slave ships? Not literally 12 million. They brought millions of us over here, and a lot of us died on the way over here. 33% of us only 33% of us made it here. What you tell them is to explain why every other nation in the earth got a record of us being in slavery on ships that dealt with the Jewish man, that dealt with white supremacy, white people coming over here with boats full of slaves, and all the brothers that ended up from South America in Europe. The water. How they end up over there if that's not possible, if it ain't possible. Historically, you know what I'm saying, major empires and kingdoms had naval fleets. So you got to talk to a brother about history at that point. And it's ultimately whether or not they want to choose to be this sovereign bull crap that ain't gonna do nothing but get you shot by the police. That's all it's about. I'm sovereign. I can do whatever I want. And then the police shoot you down, and then what? They pull you off the car and, got beat up by the police, and then what? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Those brothers don't have no answers for nothing. They'll tell you that all history is a lie. Everywhere and everybody in all of the earth who has dealings and has made purchases for our ancestors is lying about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's even outside the Bible. You ask them to explain to you what those ships were, where them ships come from, what happened to the ships. You know what I'm saying? Why did those ships get built? Why did they take so many trips back and forth from Europe to Africa to America, and then back and forth from Africa to America? What were they bringing over if they wasn't people? What were they doing? They didn't bring gold from over there. They didn't bring no type of natural resources from over there. So why was they going back and forth between Africa and here? Go ahead.
What about the notion that they be like, we was a native?
Some of us are. A lot of Black people aren't. So I won't say a lot, but there are some Black people that aren't descendants of slaves. I mean, they're not the descendants of slaves. They're not descendants from the Negroes that came from off them slave ships. Some black people were already here. The Seminole Indians are a good example of that. You know what I'm saying? Those brothers was already here. A lot of them dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? When you do the research on the brother Tecumseh, he looks like a so-called Mexican, but the brother's a Gadite. You know what I'm saying? But he looked like a dark-skinned Gadite. He looked like a nigga, like a Judite. But he has some facial features that looks like Mexican facial features, but he's not Mexican or Judite. He's a Gadite. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of ways you can cut that because a lot of the people that say that they don't have an answer for how we all got over here. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no answer. Like I said, the record of everybody else who had dealings in the trade, transatlantic slave trade, they got a record of their purchase. They got a record of the insurance. They don't have no argument for none of that. It's just a bunch of sit around and get high. Well, what if we was already here? What if there's a bunch of sit around and get high and what if? That's it. Did I ask your question?
Come,
Man, boy. You ready?
come.
You ready, young man? All right, go ahead.
There we go. All right. The book of Esther, chapter 5, and verse 1. I can get it.
Come.
Most High Christ. Now it came to pass on the third day that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house.
Now remember, Esther's not supposed to be in the king's house in the inner court without his express permission. And if she is caught in there, unless he points her scepter at her, she will be put to death. But she was there. Keep going.
Over against the king's house. And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house, over against the gate of the house.
Mm-hmm.
In verse 2. And it was so, when the king saw Esther, the queen standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight.
As soon as he seen her, he again was smitten. This is the one he wanted to be his wife. Now this is his wife. She's the queen. And whatever she wants is what she gets, according to this guy. But keep going.
And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand.
See, unless his scepter was pointed at her, she was gonna get put to death. But because it's Esther, you already knew it was about to get pointed at her. Go ahead.
So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3. Then said the king unto her, what wilt thou, Queen Esther? And what is thy request? It shall be given a select. It shall be even given thee to the half of the kingdom.
He said, what is it that you want? I'll give you anything up to the point of half my kingdom. That's how in love with this man was. That's the power that sister had over him. Keep going.
Verse 4. And Esther answered, if it seem good unto the king, let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him.
She about to snitch on Haman because Haman is a dirty rat bastard, all right? A hating ass nigga, if I could. She finna tell the king everything he did, but she need to make sure that Haman is there to see it happen. She needs to see she needs the satisfaction of knowing what this nigga done. Keep going.
Verse 5. Then the king said, cause Haman to make haste,
He said, tell that nigga to hurry up and bring his ass here then. Keep going.
that he may do as Esther hath said.
Sprung. Go ahead.
So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. And the king said unto Esther, at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition?
Meaning, what is it that you want? You got us both here now. What is it that you want? Keep going.
And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? Even to the half of the kingdom it shall be performed.
Same thing he said earlier. He said it in front of his main man. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of what you think, whatever my shorty wants, she gonna get. Up to half my kingdom. Keep going.
Verse 7. Then answered Esther and said, my petition and my request is, verse 8, if I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it please the king to grant my petition and to perform my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them. And I will do and I will do tomorrow as the king hath said.
Keep going.
Verse 9. Then went Haman forth that day joyful and with a glad heart.
So Haman was excited because I got invited to go have dinner with the king and his wife. He geeking right now. He think he about to get some more rank, get some more power in this kingdom. Keep going.
But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, that he stood not up, nor moved for him, he was full of indignation against Mordecai.
And here go this same nigga that would not bow to him. Now he won't move out the way. Again, Haman is the ultimate hater, and because this one brother wouldn't do what he wanted, he's trying to unlife all of Israel. Keep going.
Verse 10. Nevertheless, Haman refrained himself. And when he came home, he sent and called for his friend, and Zeresh, his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 11. And Haman told them of the glory of his riches, and the multitude of his children, and all the things wherein the king had promoted him, and how he had advanced him above the princes and servants of the king.
Haman was literally the number 2 man in that whole kingdom. And he was bragging and boasting about the power and the glory that his kingdom gave him. Right? Keep going.
Verse 12. Haman said, moreover, yea, Esther the queen did not Esther the queen did let no man come in with the king unto the banquet that she had prepared, but myself.
You see, so he's examining the situation that he was just invited to, thinking, oh, I'm in the inner circle now. The king and his wife, and wasn't nobody allowed but me. Shoot, ain't nowhere to go from here but up. Keep going.
And tomorrow am I invited unto her also with the king.
Got another appointment with the king and his wife. Keep going.
Verse 13. Yet all this availeth me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate.
That nigga said, even though I got all of this coming my way, all this positive, great things in my future coming tomorrow, it don't mean nothing if I can't get this nigga to get out from in front of this gate. This damn Jew, this Israelite, this filthy Israelite who think he better than us, so much better that he ain't gonna move when I stand in front of him. All my greatness. Good.
Like if I could, it just sound like Haman, like when he started his day, he just woke up like, man, I hate Mordecai.
For real, for real, the way we wake up and think, God damn, the wife and the devil. Sometimes I be on my slave and I just be sitting, I be working, bro, and I just be thinking, I be like, God damn the white man, bro. Yeah. I be like that for real. That's what Haman is to Mordecai. He said, God damn Mordecai, why won't he bow to me? He don't see my glory. Why won't this nigga move out my way? He just sitting at the gate. I told him to move, that nigga won't move. I done put a decree to kill all these niggas and he ain't even hiding. Why? He trying to understand it. Good.
Like if I could, can't even enjoy his own real because all you can think about is harming Mordecai.
Bro, and that's crazy. Go ahead. Exactly. What does that mean? It don't matter if you get unalive. Because you know you're gonna come back, bro. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Good man. That's exactly what's gonna happen. That's why he ain't worried about it. But but Haman, he can't wrap his mind around the fact that this one Israelite won't obey me. I got all this power, and this nigga still think he better than me. That's like imagine we get the kingdom, and white people is out there shoveling horse shit, and they still look down on us in the kingdom of heaven. We Israelites, we God chosen people in rulership now. And that nigga's a fucking slave. Excuse my language. He's a damn slave. And he's still looking down on us. He walk by, he like, What are you making them noise at? You know what I'm saying? What are you turning your nose up? That's what Haman is on right now with Mordecai. He like, how dare this nigga? Go ahead.
Verse 14. Then said Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends unto him, let gallows be made of 50 cubits high.
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow speak thou unto the king that Mordecai may be hanged thereon. He
said, you need to go ahead and just build some gallows and hang that nigga, man. Go ahead, keep going.
Then go thou and merrily with the king unto the banquet.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing pleased Haman. And he caused gallows to be made.
Haman went ahead and was like, yeah, baby, you right. Who the hell is he to disobey me, to defy me and my glory? Go ahead, let's get these gallows built. And so they built them. And now he preparing for his meeting with the king and the queen. Keep going.
The book of Esther, chapter 6 and verse 1.
Well, hold on. Zabat, you can read.
Come. Esther chapter 6, verse 1. On that night, could not the king sleep, and he commanded to bring the book of records of the Chronicles, and they were read before the king.
He asked for our historical records. He start to think. Keep going.
Come. Verse 2. And it was found written that Mordecai had told of big
Big five. Go ahead.
and Teresh, two of the king's chamberlains,
Mm-hmm.
the keepers of the door, sought to lay hand on the king of
Ahasuerus.
uh,
Ahasuerus.
Ahasuerus.
Mm-hmm. So he was reading about how you remember earlier before he was told that two of his men was trying to come and unalive him. And Mordecai is the one who found that information. He reading that this Jew slave had information that saved his life. So immediately now he's thinking, this man is worth protecting because he could have let me die, especially considering I'm the king and ruler over his people, oppressing his people. But he saved my life. So now he's considering I should keep this man in mind. Keep going.
Come. Verse 3. And the king said, what honor and dignity hath been done to Mordecai for this?
What did we do? What did I do to pay him back for this? He saved me from my own men, my own trusted guards, my chamberlains that were supposed to be my guys. And this servant came and saved me. He gave me information to save my life. And what did I give him for this? Keep going.
Come. Also the king's servant that ministered unto him, there is nothing done for him.
You ain't tell us to do nothing for him. So we ain't do nothing for him. Ain't that something? The man did everything. Imagine, you know what I'm saying? You Secret Service for Donald Trump. You go way out your way to protect Donald Trump. And he tell you thank you, give you a pat on the back, and send you back out and send you to war in Iran. And then later on, he thinking about it like, damn, that nigga saved my life. What did we do with him again? And then his secretary come with you. You tell us to do nothing but send him back to war. So we sent that nigga back to the front line. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is. Keep going.
That will come. Verse 4. And the king said, who is in the court? Now Haman was coming to the outer court, king's room, to speak to the king, to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him.
Now, what's really happening is that the Lord put it in his spirit to think about what Mordecai did for him, because the Lord knew that, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, the Lord knew that Haman was on his way to try to convince the king that we need to hang this nigga. So the king the Lord automatically went before Mordecai and made sure that he was going to be protected from this evil man. Keep going.
Verse 5. King's servant said unto him, behold, Haman standing in the court. And the king said, let him come in.
So he invited Haman in. Keep going.
Come. Verse 6. So Haman came in, and the king said unto him, what shall be done unto the man whom the king delighted to honor? Now Haman thought in his heart, to whom would the king delight to do honor more than to myself?
So Haman thinking like the king, I'm his number one guy. He wouldn't dare. There ain't nobody better than me in his kingdom. He ain't got no favorites above me. So it got to be me that he's considering doing honor to. Keep going.
Come. Verse 7. Haman asked the king for the man whom the king delighted to honor. Verse 3. This is the royal apparel king use it to wear.
He said, bring the king's great royal apparel and bring it and deliver it to the man who the king is choosing to honor. Because he thinking it's him. Keep going.
And the horse that the king rideth upon, and the crown royal which is set upon his head.
He said, bring all this to who? To him. He think it's coming to him, but he said specifically take it to the man that the king is choosing to honor. Keep going.
Verse 9. And let this apparel and horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man withal whom the king delighteth to honor,
Right.
and bring him on the horseback through the street of the city, and proclaim before him, how shall it be done to the man whom the king delighteth to honor?
He ordered for them to prepare stuff to bring to the prince, so the prince could take it in honor and give it in honor to the man who the king chose. This is extreme glory that this man is getting from this king. But Haman is setting it up because he thinking it all gonna belong to him. So he making sure it's extremely extravagant. He think he's gonna be paraded up and down the street of the city and be seen by all the eyes of the men and all the eyes of the women and all the eyes of the slaves and the servants. And he think he about to get all type of glory. Really, all he's thinking about is I'm about to stun on this nigga Mordecai. Whole time he don't even understand what's happening. Keep going.
God. Verse 10. The king said to Haman, make haste.
He said, hurry up.
Make haste. And take the apparel and the horse. And said, and do even so to Mordecai the Jew.
Do it to who?
Mordecai the Jew.
Haman had to be like, wait, hold on, wait a minute. What you mean, Mordecai the Jew? Ain't this ain't for me? Who else could this be for? But me? You said Mordecai, the nigga outside. What Soldier Boy say? Drake, Mordecai, the nigga that's outside sitting on his knees with a potato sack on and ash on his head. Mordecai, yeah, Mordecai, because that's who saved the king's life with good information, while Haman was doing what? Nothing. But Haman feel like he just deserves glory for no reason. Keep going.
Come. Let's speak at the king's gate. Listen. Freedom of
Everything that you said, Haman, it needs to happen. And it all needs to go to that man, because that man did a glorious thing for the king. He saved the king's life with good information. If it wasn't for Mordecai, who knows who would have been on the throne? And who knows what would have befell the people and the people in that kingdom. Keep going.
Come. Verse 11. Then took Haman the apparel and the horse, and arrayed Mordecai, and brought him on horseback through the street of the city, and proclaimed before him, thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delighted to honor.
Haman was big mad at this moment because he swore up and down that this was supposed to be glory that he was receiving. But it's the ops. Nigga, we ain't doing nothing. They ain't done nothing to him. He just can't stand the fact that he ain't got power over this man. This man understands that the Lord is who I bend the knee to, not to you. The Lord commanded me to have this information to be able to save the king, not you. And the Lord commanded this king to give me honor and protect me from you. Keep going.
Come. Verse 12. Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hastened to his house, and having his head covered.
That nigga, he went and cried in the car. Y'all seen that scene on Friday after my man's got beat up by Debo, and his daddy came to pick him up, and he was like, my grandma gave me that chain. And he's like, he gonna go cry in the car. That was it. That nigga went home and started crying, literally. He was full of shame because he had made all these great proclamations and commands of the king's men and went way out there, way above and beyond, thinking it was for him, and it was for the nigga he hate. Keep going.
Come. Verse 17. And Haman, she wrecked his wife, and all his friends, everything that had befallen him.
Now I imagine you went home after your boss told you I'm finna give you a raise, $40 an hour, right? And I'm gonna give you advance on your next 2 paychecks today. You know what I'm saying? And then you go to the slave and you fuck around, Slocky, you mess around and get fired that same day. Now you gotta go back home and tell your family it's over, babe. We ain't got no home, we ain't got no money coming in, I ain't got no job. It's over, they fired me. The shame you gotta feel, the embarrassment, all your friends, everybody. It ain't happening what you thought was about to happen. Keep going.
Come. Then said his wise men and Jerech, his wife unto him. If Mordecai be of the seed of the Jews, before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him, but shall surely fall before him.
Now his so-called friends, they didn't know that Mordecai was an Israelite until now. And now they tell him, "Oh, you messing with one of them? You gonna fall before this man. You better leave him alone." Sure enough, it's too late. He should have went to them a long time ago. This is an example of leaning on your own counsel. When you try to think for yourself and do things on your own, instead of going to wiser men, you end up in situations like this. Now he's going to the wise men, and they telling him that, yeah, you better leave that man alone for you start really falling for real. But it's too late. Keep going.
Verse 14. And while they were yet talking with him, came the king's chamberlain
Mhm.
and had to bring her mind to the people that Esther had prepared.
He forgot that he still had to go meet with that man's niece. He don't know that she's his niece or his cousin. I mean, he don't know that she is cousin yet. All he knows is that all my glory I had planned for me, it just went to this guy. And now I gotta go meet with the king. After having been so much in sorrow and grief. Imagine the king just gave you these orders to go make all this stuff happen for your enemy, and then you just up and disappear. And now you gotta show back up. The king, the first thing you know, the king wanted, like, nigga, what happened? What we doing honor to the man I chose to do honor to? Why you disappear on me? Imagine we having a party in the Shuck house, and he say, I'm about to raise up young man O. And you know what I'm saying, do all these things for young man O, and then say, I leave. And I just show up randomly, and it's time for us to eat. And the first thing the Shuck gonna say, well, nigga, where you go? You're supposed to be doing honor to the young man. Why you leave? You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Verse 7.
Chapter 7.
Salah. Chapter 7, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
So the king and Haman came to the banquet with Esther, the queen. Verse 2. And the king said again unto Esther on the second day of the banquet, wine. What is thy petition, Queen Esther?
He said, what is it that you would have from me? What do you want from me? You didn't call us all here. Well, all three of us here. What you want? Good.
Kind of. And it shall be granted. And what is thy request? And it shall be performed, even to the half of the kingdom.
Again, for the third time, that man is promising his rib half his kingdom. You can have nearly half of anything you want, baby. I promise you. Just tell me what it is. I got you. Keep going.
Verse 3.
You see how sprung that sister got that man? We talking about Israelite women is the greatest. You got this whole king with all this power, all this authority, all this prestige, willing to give half of it to her just for looking at him, man. He was ready to do that from the moment he laid eyes on her. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Verse 3. The queen answered and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, O king, and if it please the king, let my life be given me at my petition, and my people at my request.
He said, she said, let me have my life and my people. That's my petition. That's what I want. The safety for my life and my people's lives. Keep going.
Verse 4. For we are told, I and my people, to be destroyed, to be slain, ready to perish.
Now here comes the part where she started telling her husband about the things that his dirty ass best friend doing to her and her people. He threatened my life, babe. Imagine, bro. You out here, you ain't in the truth, you in the world. And a brother is supposed to be your friend, threaten your real life. And then she come and tell you about it finally after getting y'all both together. And he thinking the whole time, like, she ain't gonna say nothing. You know, that's my man. I'm his man. He ain't gonna say nothing about it. He don't care. He gonna pick me over her any day. Fuck her. That's what you thinking. But he about to find out that ain't the case. That man chose that sister over his friend. Keep going.
Where we have been sold, bond men and bond women, I have held my tongue. The enemy could not countervail the king's damage. Verse 5. You came
Ahasuerus.
Ahasuerus, and said to Esther the queen, who is he, and where is he that durst presume in his heart to do so?
Who is the man that got the nerve to threaten you and your people? My beautiful queen. Who got the nerve to put out a decree to make my queen feel unsafe so much so that she got to call me and my best mans together to ask for protection from them? Who is this nigga? Keep going.
Count. Verse 6. And Esther said that is this wicked Haman.
She said, it's Haman. It's your man. It's your number one man. The man that you call your friend, the dude that's supposed to be your ABC, he really praying on your downfall. Keep going.
Count. And Haman prayed for the king and the queen.
His heart immediately got to racing because he knew how the king felt about her. After hearing the third time the king wouldn't give her half of everything, he don't care about me that much. He ain't offer me half of nothing. Even all the glory that he was talking about, the honor he was talking about giving that he thought was for him, went to Mordecai. It wasn't nothing compared to the half the kingdom. So you know he felt like he was in trouble. Keep going.
Count. Verse 7. And the king arrived of wine in his ring, went into the palace garden, and Haman stood up to make request for his life to Esther the queen.
Y'all remember that scene on y'all seen the movie ATL?
Man.
Y'all remember the scene where Esquire found out about Lauren London being rich and whatever, and she was like, "You ain't gonna tell him nothing. You ain't gonna what's his name? What's the name in the movie? You ain't gonna tell Rashad nothing.
Shot.
You ain't gonna tell Rashad nothing. Oh, I'm gonna tell him, all right. That's Esther and him right now. Right now, he's Lauren London and she's Esquire. I'm gonna tell him, all right. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Count. For he saw that there was evil determined against him by the king.
He knew the king was finna unalive him. Keep going.
Count. Verse 8. And the king returned from the palace garden to the place to banquet of wine, and Haman was fallen upon the bed wherein Esther was.
Mm-hmm.
This is the king, where he forced the queen also before me in the house.
So he walked in and caught his man's on top of his wife, on top of the queen, thinking that he was finna assault her. Keep going.
Count. But the word went out, king's mouth. They covered Haman's face.
All the guilt was on his face. Keep going.
Count. Verse 9. Habonah, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who had spoken good for the king, standing in the house of Haman.
Now imagine, right? So we all done been there before, but we in the world thought we was getting away with some stuff, and then one bad thing happened, and then another bad thing happened, and then things just start crumbling around us. This is what Mordecai, I was like, this is what Haman is experiencing. First, he done got told on by the king's wife about what he was planning to do, the decree he put out to unalive her and her people. Then he done messed around and got caught on top of the queen trying to, you know what I'm saying, convince her not to tell on him. But it looked like SA. And then his men come in telling him, oh, he also had a gallows built in his house so you can kill the man that you said give honor to. They completely just telling on this nigga. All the cat's out the bag. Keep going.
Then the king said, hang him thereon.
What'd he say?
Hang him thereon.
Hang that nigga. That ain't my boy. He ain't really for us. He ain't really for me and my rulership. He a hater. He just want what I got. Immediately, King's mind went to this nigga's a traitor. I heard him caught you laying on top of my wife in her bed. You know what I'm saying? After I got up and walked out after she told me about your evil, treacherous behind, and I walked back in and you trying to do something to her? Yeah, hang that nigga. Keep going.
Count. Verse 10.
You gonna say something? You gonna say something?
Oh, I was gonna say, man, it feel good. Good for us to say something like that. Hang that nigga.
Hang that nigga, bro. Salakia.
Amazing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 10. So they hanged Haman from the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai.
Mm-hmm.
This was the king's wrath petrified.
The king wasn't angry no more because he got to see that the traitor among him and among his people be put to death because he threatened his wife. We're gonna switch readers. Go ahead, Kanaka. You can take over.
It's this chapter 8, right?
Come.
Esther chapter 8 and verse 1. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, unto Esther the queen.
He gave the whole house of Haman unto Esther. He gave her everything that Haman owned. Keep going.
And Mordecai came before the king. For Esther had told what he was unto her.
He told the king what Mordecai meant to her, who Mordecai was. The king just knew that Mordecai was an honorable, just man. You know what I'm saying? He saved the king's life. So he was already interested in meeting this man. Come to find out, this is the man who raised up his wife to be a good wife to him. He couldn't turn that down. Keep going.
Verse 2. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai.
He gave Mordecai all the glory and all the power that Haman was seeking to have. Keep going.
And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman.
Nah, Mordecai owns everything that Haman had. Ain't that a crazy turn of events? You spent so long hating on one man, it caused your downfall, and that nigga got everything you had. That's crazy. They can make whole movies about some stuff like that. Go ahead.
Okay, by everything he had, right? This
Mhm.
is just his properties. What happened to his kids and his family?
They don't say. They heathens. They're not Israelites. So I'm liable to believe that they got pushed out into poverty. Mordecai wouldn't take another man's wife, and he ain't got nothing. He ain't got no reason to take his children because they're not our people. So for Mordecai, y'all get out my house. You and your bum ass kids, get out my house. It's a lot, you. Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 3. And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite.
I wanted to bring this up. So Captain Yatazak broke this down on us last night. And Haman was an Agagite, right? Y'all know who Agag was?
It was the one that Saul was supposed to kill.
And who was he?
He was the leader of the Philistines.
He was the king of the Amalekites.
Amalekite. Oh my goodness.
Now it makes perfect sense why Haman was such a hater. That nigga was Jewish. Now it makes perfect sense why Haman couldn't stand the fact that this nigga had the audacity not to bend the knee to me. Who does this nigga think he is? Come to find out, he's a descendant of Agag. That's crazy. I'm telling you, all the Book of Esther is like a movie, bro. Keep going.
And his device that he had devised against the Jews.
She talking about she asked him to put away all of the mischief that he had done and to get rid of the gallows that he had made and all of the decrees that he had convinced the king that needed to happen to kill those people. Keep going.
Come on. Verse 4. Then the king held out the golden scepter towards Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king and said, if it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the things seem right before the king, and not be pleasing in his eyes.
You see how she slid that in there? And if you want this box, keep going.
Let it be written to reverse the letters devised by Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews, which are in all the king's provinces.
You want this box? You know, make sure my people safe. You see, she slid that in there at the end after saying, if I found favor in your sight, if you believe what I'm telling you is right, and if I be pleasing to your eyes. Make sure you save my people from this death that's looming over us. Keep going.
Verse 6. For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come unto my people?
That right there is heavy. Oh, keep going.
Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kingdom?
That's heavy. Now, for every brother who mess with white women and heathen women, that's how they are supposed to think. How can I dare? They can't feel what I feel whenever something happened to one of my brothers and sisters. We get killed by the police. We get lynched. Y'all heard about that story about that sister's son? He was in handcuffs. The police had him in cuffs, face down on the ground, hands behind his back. A cop walked up and shot him in the back of the head while his face was down on the ground, in cuffs. Now, how can a white woman that his girlfriend, whatever, or not her, I won't say that, but how can anybody who is with a white woman or a sister that's with a white man, how can they spouse and a significant other feel how we feel about that? They can't. They couldn't imagine that because it don't happen to them. It's happening to us. She's saying the same thing right here. How am I supposed to endure knowing that I'm safe here in this kingdom with you? My cousin is safe here in this kingdom with you, but the rest of our people are in the threat of death. Keep going.
Come on, God. Verse 7. Then the king Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen and to Mordecai the Jew, Behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the Jews.
Specifically because he laid his hands upon your people. Because my wife demanded her people be safe, I had my best man hanged. Keep going.
Come. Verse 8. Write ye also for the Jews, as it liketh you.
He said, go ahead and you make the decree, however you choose to word it. Keep going.
In the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring.
No matter what you say, it's coming directly from the king. That's how much power that Haman lost and Mordecai gained for raising that sister to be right. And the Lord put him right in the position to save the king's life, put him right in the position to be able to receive mercy from the Lord for the sake of his people, and for his cousin to be able to save their people. The Lord put all that in position. And the king said, whatever you say you want to do, however you want to write this decree, you write it. You want all of Haman's family put to death? So be it. It came from the king. Now, obviously, Mordecai ain't going to do that because we don't advocate for violence, period. It's against our laws. But I say Mordecai wasn't on no real Israelite culture. Let's say he was really on some vengeful, you know what I'm saying? And I'll kill him and everybody, all them Jewish people. He wouldn't have even been unjustified. He would have been unjust because, again, we don't advocate for violence, period, according to our laws. But I agree with why he would have. I understand why he would have wanted to do that if he chose that. Keep going.
Come. For the writing which is written in the king's name and sealed with the king's ring, may no man reverse. Verse 9. Then were the king's scribes called at the time in the 3rd month, that is, the month to month, on the 23rd day thereof. And it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded unto the Jews, and to the lieutenants, and the deputies and rulers of the provinces which are from India unto Ethiopia.
All of his land. You know, remember, he's over 127 provinces, man. He got hella range. He got clout. And this is the law from here all the way to there. Don't touch those people. Keep going.
And 127 provinces. Unto every province according to the writing thereof, and unto every people after their language, and to the Jews according to their language, according to their writing, and according to their language.
Keep going.
Verse 10. And he wrote in the king Ahasuerus' name, and sealed it with the king's ring, and sent letters by post on horseback, and riders on mules, camels, and young dromedaries. Verse 11. Wherein the king granted the Jews which were in every city to gather themselves together, and to stand for their life, to destroy, to slay, and to cause to perish all the power of the people in province that would assault them, both little ones and women, and to take the spoil of them for a prey.
Y'all understand what that just said? He said, I'm giving y'all permission. Imagine, right? Donald Trump saying that all blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians Y'all been oppressed in this country for too long. I want y'all to go to the suburbs, kill everybody who ain't y'all, and take everything that they got. He was offering them reparations right there. Keep going.
Come. Verse 12. Upon one day in all the provinces of King Ahasuerus, namely upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of dark,
Mm-hmm.
the copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, and that the Jews should be ready against that day to avenge themselves on their enemies.
He low key granted them freedom without giving them real true freedom. You know what I'm saying? They weren't allowed to be sovereign. They were allowed to be Israelites in his kingdom. That was as far as he was willing to go. But yeah, y'all go ahead and get y'all revenge for everything, because you got to remember, this ain't just happening over the course of a day. This is a time frame. It took Esther to get worked up to the position that she was at to be able to tell the king, Haman, that put out this law to kill all my people. You got to imagine how many of us actually died before Mordecai finally got to actually show himself and get up acknowledgement from the king. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he said, go ahead and avenge your people. Go ahead, kill them all. Keep going.
Verse 14. So the post that rode upon mules and camels went out, being hastened and pressed on by the king's commandment. And the decree was given in Shushan the palace.
Keep going.
And Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in royal apparel of blue and white, and with a great crown of gold, and with a garment of fine linen and purple. And the city of Shushan rejoiced and was glad.
Keep going.
The Jews had light and gladness and joy and honor.
Now, when the scriptures talk about when our ways please the Most High, even our enemies will be at peace with thee, that's what it's talking about. At the end of all of it, we had light, gladness, joy, and honor. Even in our oppression, even in us being in captivity to these Persians and these Medes. You know what I'm saying? And then later on in the book of Jeremiah or the book of Isaiah, you read about Cyrus. He's another Persian. The Lord commanded him to go to allow the Israelites to go and build the second temple. The one that we fight over in the book of Maccabees, that temple was built at the hands while we were under captivity to Cyrus. The Lord commanded him to let us go do it. So throughout our time in the captivity of the Persians, the Lord was really with us the whole time. But we had to get ourselves together. That's why what Haman, why what Mordecai did was so important. For him bending the knee at the gate and putting that potato sack on and standing there and not moving and putting that cloth on his head and not that cloth, but them ashes on his head and fasting, he was showing the people that this is what it's going to take for the Lord to save us from what's coming to us. They put out decrees to kill us. The only way we won't die is if we start serving the Most High. Don't be like these Persians. Don't live in their culture. Take your heart from this place. And the people did that. And the Lord showed them favor. And he put all the pieces into place to save Israel. Keep going. Verse 17.
Verse 17. And in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day.
Mm-hmm.
And many of the people of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them.
It says, many of the people of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Jews fell upon them. Meaning, those heathens that was living in our cities, because again, we still have Jerusalem. It still existed. But it was a providence. We were being occupied by the Persians. So the people who was living in Jerusalem, the Persians and the Medes that was living in Jerusalem, they started following our laws, statutes, and commandments, because they knew if we have power in this place now, this is the law. And this is the king's decree that this is the law now in this land. And so if you don't follow it, what's going to happen? You're going to get stoned or you're going to get hanged for breaking these laws. Whatever our law demands is going to happen to you. That's what's going to happen. It's a glorious thing. Go ahead.
So if somebody was to try to use this and say that you can convert to a Jew,
No, you can start living the Israelite culture, but you cannot literally become they can't become flesh and blood Jews. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just like Titus, his father was called a Greek, but he was an Israelite. The only way he could be an Israelite if his father was actually an Israelite, but he became a Greek because again, during Second Maccabees 6 and 6, it was illegal for us to be Jews. And after the Greeks fell, the Romans just took their spot, and now they're the rulers, the oppressors of us. So Titus was raised. His father called himself a Greek because it wasn't super long from the time of the Greek Empire to the Roman Empire. The laws didn't change up. It just who occupied the throne at that point is what changed up. And by that being the case, he instead of calling himself a Roman, he called himself a Greek, even though he was actually an Israelite.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? So he became a Greek, just like these people became Jews. Good.
So what do we call the ones who do that? You know what I'm saying?
What that start following our laws and everything?
Yeah.
Strangers.
Strength.
Yeah. A stranger can come in our place and follow laws and statutes and commandments. It happened. There was strangers in David's army. He had an Edomite in his army. And he got glory and everything. He followed the law, statutes, and commandments. And he did what David told him to do. You know what I'm saying? And he got glory in David's army. He wasn't an Israelite, but he wasn't poor. You know what I'm saying? That nigga wasn't broke. he had power and authority in David's kingdom. Not the kind of power and authority that Benaiah and them had. Benaiah was his man. Him and his father, not Jobab, I forget his father's name. But that family, those was his David's valiant man. But he had one man that was in his army that was an Edomite. And he had glory and power too. You know what I'm saying? But he had to follow the law, statutes, commandments, and he had to earn that position. Good.
I would say it reminded me of. I mean, they had Amalekite too. You remember the one that killed
That's what I'm talking about. This
his son? No.
No, the one who killed Saul.
Yeah.
He claimed he killed Saul, but he didn't. He lied. So not him. That's
Amalekite.
what was his name? It don't matter. But it was an Edomite. You know what I'm saying? But even him was part of David's army. Well, he was part of Saul's army. And he had glory amongst Saul's army. But then when David took over, and then come to find out later on that Saul done died while David was the king, he the one who came and told David that it happened and that he did it. He put himself in a box at that point for lying, and he suffered because he thought he was gonna get glory. Now I ain't saying that they smart, they stupid as hell. Even if they are the stranger and it's in our city and under our laws, they still stupid, right? They do stupid stuff like lie, and that lie cost him his life. David said, "You did what? Hey, fall upon him. Put God over. Put hands on this nigga." You know what I'm saying?
Who was an uncircumcised
You feel me?
Amalekite?
Mm-hmm. Who does nigga think he is? Don't tell me you didn't touch the Lord's anointed. You know what I'm saying? But keep going. Matter of fact, we on what, chapter 9? Kabosh, wanna go ahead and read.
Call
Wait, young man, can you read? You know how to read? You do? You're gonna read chapter 10. It's only 3 verses. All right? If you're ready. Go ahead, Kabosh one.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 1. Now in the 12th month, that is the month of Adar, on the 13th day of the same, when the king's commandment and decree drew near to be put in execution. In the day that the enemies of the Jews hoped to have power over them, though it was turned to the contrary, that the Jews had ruled over them that hated them.
So it's time for the king's rule to become decree. Everything that Mordecai wrote in them letters, now is the day that all of it becomes official law. And them heathen that thought that they had power over us, come to find out they don't have power over us at all. We got power over them now. Keep going.
Verse 2. The Jews gathered themselves together in their cities throughout all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus.
Mm-hmm.
I said that right.
Ahasuerus, yeah.
The king Ahasuerus, to lay hand on such as sought their hurt.
To lay hands on the people that sought to hurt them. Keep going.
And no man could withstand them.
Mm-hmm.
For the fear of them fell upon all people.
All the people in all the provinces feared the Israelites. Why? Because they knew that the Lord was with them. The king said that y'all have the right to go and kill all of them. So now they weren't protected by the fact that these are servants, that these are the king's slaves, and we got authority over them. No, all that protection went away. Now it's back to square one. These are the Lord's people, and y'all heathens. And we got power now to kill y'all. We finna do it. Keep going. It's wartime.
Verse 3. and all the rulers of the provinces, and the lieutenants, and the deputies, and officers of the king helped the Jews, because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them. Verse 4. Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces. For this man, Mordecai, waxed greater and greater.
He got a whole lot of glory because the Lord was with him. Why? Because he taught his people that serving the Most High was more important than losing your life at the hand of a hating ass heathen. You know what I'm saying? Fear wasn't what controlled Mordecai's emotion, well, his actions. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is what controlled Mordecai's actions. Keep going.
Verse 5. Thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword, and slaughter and destruction, and did what they would unto those that hated them.
They made sure they took all of their lives that hated them. All the people that came after them, they went after them, and they unalived all of them. Keep going.
Verse 6. And in Shushan, the palace of the Jews. Oh, wait. Man, 20 minutes. Verse 6. And in Shushan, the palace the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men.
They killed 500 men in Shushan. Keep going.
Verse 7. And Pershandatha, and Dalphon, and Aspatha. Verse 8. And Paratha, and Adalia, and Aradatha. Verse 9. And Pamasha, and Arasai, and Aradai, and Bajazah. Salaki. Verse 10. The 10 sons of Ham, Salaki. Is it Haman or Haman?
Haman.
I done heard it being said two ways.
It's Haman.
It's Haman.
In the Hebrew tongue, I guess it would be Haman, but Haman.
Verse 10. The 10 sons of Haman, the son of Hamatha, the enemy of the Jews, slew they. But on the spoil lay there not their hand.
They killed every single one of Haman's kids. But they didn't take none of their stuff. Keep going.
Verse 11. On that day, the number of those that was
Salaki, real quick. When it says spoils specifically, when it talks about us conquering people, when it's used the word spoils, it ain't just their stuff. It's on their women, their wives, their children, everything. You know what I'm saying? So when it talks about like concubines are women that's won in war. They spoils. Obviously, with us being Israelites, and concubines are Israelite women that was enslaved to these heathens. You know what I'm saying? Or if we went to war with each other, like when we went to war with the Benjamites, and we took their daughters, they were our concubines, meaning they were sisters that we won from our brothers in war. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the spoils is right here. It's not always just stuff. Keep going.
Verse 11. On that day, the number of those that were slain in Shushan, the palace was brought before the king. Verse 12. And the king said unto Esther, the queen, the Jews have slain and destroyed 500 men in Shushan, the palace, and the 10 sons of Haman.
They done killed a whole bunch of people. Keep going.
What they have done in the rest of the king's provinces.
He said, what have they done in the rest? Who else they done killed? He started to worry like, damn, nigga, how many people they gonna kill? Keep going.
Now, what is thy petition?
He said, what you want now though? Like they didn't kill everybody. What else you want? What else you want to happen? He started worrying like, you gonna just take over my whole kingdom? You gonna just kill everybody? Keep going.
And it should be granted thee. Or what is thy request further? And it shall be done.
That nigga was sprung. Her people done killed 500 of his people, of his citizens. And his right hand man's, all his sons. And he's still willing to give up more for her. You know how bad of a sister she had to be in, bro? All this is from just looking at her. Before he made her his rib, he was already on this. You know how bad she had to have been, bro? Y'all think I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there. Go ahead. I'm just saying, like, David was a righteous king. He was a very righteous brother. But Bathsheba was bad, apparently. So much so that David even felt weak. I'm just The sister had to been bad. You feel me? That she got this king of over all this land after she done killed her people to kill 500 of his people and his best man's 10 kids, and still can't hurt. What else you want, bro? It's been done. What else you want? How bad is she? Slock here. Go ahead. Keep going. She made good sandwiches. I tell you that. I know she made good sandwiches. Keep going.
Verse 13. Then said Esther, if it please the king, let it be granted to the Jews which are in Shushan to do tomorrow, also according unto this day's decree.
Mm-hmm.
And let Haman's 10 sons be hanged upon the gallows.
Keep going.
Verse 14. And the king commanded it so to be done. And the decree was given at Shushan. And they hanged Haman's 10 sons.
So then they came and start killing people in Shushan, the kingdom, the capital of his kingdom. Keep going.
Verse 15. For the Jews that were in Shushan gathered themselves together on the 14th day also of the month of Adar,
Mm-hmm.
and slew 300 men at Shushan.
You see?
So I'm tripping out. They said 300 men though. It's like they going on a real life spree.
Yeah.
500, then there's 300.
Think about it, bro. They done killed 810 people. But how many of our people died because of them? Look at what ICE is doing now. And then one day Christ's gonna come back and the table's gonna be flipped. The scripture said right now we fishers of men, but there gonna come a day where we can become hunters of men. How many of them are we gonna kill? You ever been on a slave and you thinking about like the knowledge that you have learned in the truth about white supremacy, about white people,
Yeah, come on.
and it make you kind of want to click off, but you know you can't. Imagine being able to click off, and the Lord told you to do it. These niggas got a high right now. They're on a high right now. It's like Puff the Magic Dragon. You know what I'm saying? Kill all the heathens. Kill all the heathens. That's their mind right now. Keep going.
Come.
And the best part about it is that they justified in doing it, man. Not only to the Lord, but even to the king of them people. Go ahead, kill him. I don't care. Go ahead. You feel me? Like, can you imagine? Like, bro, it's literally like being in captivity and then being told you're free. That's what that is for them right now. We can do what? To who? You don't care? We ain't gonna go to jail. We ain't gonna get online. We gonna get hung. Oh, come here. Hey, you remember you stupid white woman? You kicked me when I was down. You spit on me. Yeah. Stupid. You know what I'm saying? Let her have it. Keep going.
But on the prey they laid not their hand. Verse 16. But the other Jews that were in the king's provinces gathered themselves together and stood for their lives, and had rest from their enemies, and slew of their foes 70 and 5,000.
They killed 75,000 of them niggas. So they didn't kill 810 plus 70. They killed 75,810 people so far. Keep going.
But they laid not their heads on their prey.
But they ain't taking none of their stuff.
So like a hand. So like I'm gonna say hand.
They ain't want none of their stuff. We only did this to them because they did it to us. Keep going.
Verse 17. On the 13th day of the month Adar, and on the 14th day of the same rested day, and made it a day of feasting and gladness.
Mm-hmm. They took a break from all the slaughter and had a feast. It's like, oh, it's time to sit down and eat. We've been killing niggas for days. We got to sit down and rest. Keep going.
Verse 18. But the Jews that were at Shushan assembled together on the 13th day thereof, and on the 14th thereof, and on the 15th of the same day rested.
Mm-hmm.
So like 15. I gotta do 1 minute on this. 15th day of the same day rested, and made it a day of feasting and gladness.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 19. Therefore the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month of Adar a day of gladness and feasting.
Right.
And a good day. And of sending portions one to another.
Keep going.
Verse 20. And Mordecai wrote these things and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all provinces of the king Ahasuerus, both nigh and far. Verse 21. To establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month of Adar, and the 15th day of the same year.
Do y'all know what this is that we're reading about?
Like this Feast of Purim, right?
This is the Feast of Purim. Give him a hand. That's exactly what this is. Now we're getting to the establishment officially in our historical record of the Feast of Purim. Oh, this is why we keep the Feast of Purim, and this is where it originally comes from. The king demanded that we do this from now on going forward. The slaughtering of his people, because the Lord was with it. Keep going.
Verse 22. As the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, in the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day,
Mm-hmm.
that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another, and gifts to the poor. So like verse 23. And the Jews undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai had written unto them. Verse 24. Because Haman, the son of Hamadatha,
Mm-hmm.
the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews,
You see, the enemy of all the Jews. This is a Jewish man. Their family is the enemy to all of us. Keep going.
and devised against the Jews to destroy them,
Mm-hmm.
and cast prayer, that is, the lot, to consume them and to destroy them. In verse 25, but when Esther came before the king, he commanded by letters that his wicked voice, his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head,
Mm-hmm.
and that he and his sons should be hanged on the gallows.
So now we getting the memorial, the actual memorial for what the Feast of Purim is about. Keep going.
In verse 26, wherefore they call these days Purim, after the name of pure.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, for all the words of this letter, it is that which they have seen concerning this matter, and which have come unto them.
So y'all understand, the word Purim means lots. The word Pur means lot. Purim is lots. It's plural. Keep going. It's the Feast of Lots. Keep going.
Verse 27, the Jews ordained and took upon them, and upon their seed, and upon all such as join themselves unto them, so as it should not fail, that they will keep these 2 days according to their writing, and according to their appointed time every year.
We're gonna always remember how our sister went to war on a spiritual level and protected all of us and freed us from a potential ICE invasion. Keep going.
Verse 28, and that these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation, every family, every province, and every city, and that these days of Purim should not fail from among the Jews,
Mm-hmm.
nor the memorial of them perish from their seed.
You're gonna remember it forever. Keep going.
Verse 29, then Esther the queen and the daughter of Abihail
Mm-hmm.
and Mordecai the Jew wrote with all authority to confirm this second letter of Purim.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 30, and he sent the letter unto all the Jews to the 127 provinces of the kingdom of Ahasuerus, with words of peace and truth.
So he sent a letter to all Israel so that all Israel would know that this is one of our new customs, one of our new traditions. We're going to keep this feast day on the 12th month, on the 14th day to the 5th, the 13th to the 14th day of the 12th month. The last feast day before the new year. And we're going to remember how the Lord was with us and our sister put herself in a position to be able to protect us. Keep going.
Verse 31, to confirm these days of Purim in their times appointed, according as Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen had enjoined them,
Mm-hmm.
and as they had decreed for themselves and for their seed, the matters of the fastings and their cry.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 32, and the decree of Esther confirms these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book.
It was written in the book. What book is that?
Salami, the Bible.
Yes, but no. What book?
Salami, the book of life.
The book of the law.
Dang.
He's written the book of the law. Whenever you read about John chapter 10 and verse 35, 34, 35, and 36, Christ makes a reference to Psalms. It says, "Is it not written in your law that ye are gods?" That's in Psalms 83. Psalms 82. Is it 83? Psalms 82.
So like it sort of back in the old days, the Bible would be considered the book of laws because it's right because it's telling us what we can and can't do.
For them, the Bible, all of our historical record is considered the book of the law.
Okay.
Our history, our how we carry ourselves going forward is determined by our recorded history. That's why Christ, when he said, "Is it not written in your laws, ye are gods?" That's not written in the first 5 books of the Bible. That's written in the Psalms. You know what I'm saying? So all of the Old Testament, the Torah, is our law. You know what I'm saying? It's the book of the law. You ready, young man? Call out where you at.
I'm at Job,
No, Esther.
at Esther, chapter 2.
In verse. Go ahead.
And the king
Ahasuerus. Mm-hmm.
had a
Tribute.
ram,
Mm-hmm.
and upon the
Isles.
idols of the sea,
Right, keep going.
and all acts
Mm-hmm.
of his power and of his mighty, and the destruction,
Declaration. Mm-hmm.
greatness of Mordecai,
And all the declaration it says, in all the acts of his power and of his might, and the declaration of the greatness of Mordecai. So Mordecai's glory was written in the king's entire record. So the record kept all of the exploits of the king, all of his glory, all of his exploits, everything that he did during his reign, and Mordecai was mentioned in there now. Keep going.
where into the king's
Advanced.
uh,
Meaning where the king rose him up. Keep going.
they not written in the book of the Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
The kings of more
Media.
and
Persia. So that's a question. It's basically what it's saying is that the king's entire record is written in their chronicle. It's a chronicling of their history. Remember earlier the brother asked me, what do we do when a brother say that slavery didn't happen, that we didn't come here on slave ships? And I responded by saying that you have to ask him, why does every other nation have a chronicle has a record of that happening? It's the same thing here. They have a record of all of our history and of our exploits, of Mordecai's glory and all the things that Mordecai did in their history. Keep going.
verse 3. For Mordecai the Jew he was next, and 2 kings
Ahasuerus. Mm-hmm.
Jews.
Mm-hmm. Accepted.
The
Multitude.
his
Brethren.
brethren, speaking the word,
Wealth.
his people, and speaking please
Places.
Peace.
Always peace.
to all his seed.
Get a young man in here.
Okay.
So in their record, they got a record that Mordecai was great. He was like not Jason Slocky. He was like Joseph was for the king of Egypt. He was his number 2 guy, and he had all the might, all the power, all the glory. And instead of being like Haman, who was a selfish, hating ass nigga, he was a brother who was about peace, and he made sure he used his power and authority to establish peace for his people and peace in that king's land. You know what I'm saying? So, with that, that's the conclusion of the story of the Feast of Purim, the history of it, why we celebrate it, how we're supposed to celebrate it, and everything that led to us even remembering this Memorial Day, these Memorial Days. You got any questions? Everybody to what? Who got the announcements? With that, I pass the class off to Priest Officer Bachelon.
The ISUPK security announcement. We are the ISUPK, start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment, found in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. It means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ash, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to Treasury Department or to the priest fund. Free will offering for priests not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations will be the Passover, April 4th. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and or war scarf. And with that, I'm in Israel, a Muslim being stained. I'm in Israel. We're gonna give one curse to Luke. Ahmad Shabbat. Ahmad Barak.
Yeah.
Yadim Matah. Dismissed.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.